Hi everyone, it's Miss Dodd here. Today we are going to be learning how to use Zoom. Now I know that a lot of us used it during the last lockdown, but today I want to focus on making us Joseph Lock Zoom experts. Now, what I'm going to do is upload this to your Seesaws, so if you want to pause and watch the video again, you can do. Good luck, and let's turn us all into Zoom spurts by the end of the day. Okay, the first step in turning into Zoom experts is knowing what the symbols in this bottom bar mean. And you'll notice we've got 5 different symbols: mute, start video, share, participants, and more. So my first top tip is to spend some time talking about this first button here, the mute button. This is a button that you will be using a lot during your Zoom calls. So what you'll notice is at the moment it's white, and what that means is anybody who is in a Zoom call can hear everything I'm saying, and this is really handy for if you've got questions or if you want to take part in a discussion. However, it doesn't always need to stay on, and that's where my first top tip comes in. By simply pressing the microphone button in this bottom corner of the screen, you'll notice it's changed to have a red line through it, and that means that no one can hear what you're saying, which is fantastic when you're doing lots of listening for the input. However, make sure if you've got any questions, you remember to click that unmute button. Now that we've looked at muting, let's look at starting our video. Now you'll notice here at the bottom of the screen, it's got a red cross through it, and that means at the moment nobody can see my video. However, the second I click the video button, you'll see that the cross is removed and you can see the video on your screen. Unless your teachers say otherwise, they want you to have the camera on so that they can see that you're engaged in your learning and are working extremely hard. My second top tip is all about communication and the different ways that we can communicate through using Zoom. So we've already talked about unmuting and starting the video. You'll notice there is a button at the bottom corner, More. Through this, we're going to be able to do a variety of different features, and I'm going to show you those now. Once you've clicked the button, you'll see you get a variety of options. First of which, and this is very important in lessons, if you have a question to show your teacher or your teaching assistant that you might be a little bit stuck, you might have something to contribute, rather than turn your microphone on straight away, press raise hand and your teacher will know to come to you when she gets the chance. You'll notice at the bottom here, there are some reactions as well. As a school, it's not really appropriate to use these last 4. However, you can use these first 2 if your teacher asks you if you've understood something or how confident you are feeling within your lesson. However, this top tip is going to focus a little bit more detail in this feature here, and that is the chat box feature. Simply click it to open up the next menu. Once you open up your chat box, you'll see a screen very similar to mine here. And you'll notice at the bottom, there is an area in blue. Now here you've got 2 options. You could send a message to everybody, so it'll be seen by your teacher, your teaching assistant, and everyone in your class. However, I know some of you aren't very confident when it comes to asking questions, so you can simply click this blue button here, and you can select your teacher or your teaching assistant's name and type in a question if you would prefer. However, and this forms part of my top tip, just because learning is taking place online, that doesn't take away any of our school expectations. So we still expect you to type in sentences using proper grammar and proper spellings. Using slang words will not be acceptable. Tip number 1. treat learning from home the same as classroom learning. So even though you might be at home, it's important to remember the same rules apply as being in the classroom. Particularly, think about your behaviour and how you conduct yourself. Focus on learning and don't get distracted by your surroundings. Tip number 2, use of classroom language. If you have to type something into the chat box, don't use shorthand speak and write as though you would speak in class. So no lols or anything like that. Remember to be respectful, polite, and avoid posting negative comments or spamming the chat. Top tip number 3, don't share passwords or other sensitive information. In order to begin your online lessons or to gain access to online learning, you are going to be provided with details for a Zoom call. In the same way that you keep your personal details private, always keep these safe and never share them with others. Now to see if you really are Zoom experts. I've shared a link with all of your teachers of a class Kahoot. Let's see how many of you can get 100% marks. Good luck, Zoom experts.